Next week, the state of Idaho launches a new offensive in the battle against a growing gray wolf population.
On November 15th, Idaho begins allowing the public to trap wolves in an effort to bring their numbers under control. Tonight in a special report, KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey takes a look at why the once endangered wolves are now coming under fire. And Jeff, a lot of people say that legalized trapping seems like a dramatic step.
Nadine, the practice is as controversial as it is deadly. Beginning on Tuesday, hunters will be able to use snares and leg hold traps like this one in the hopes of catching as many wolves as possible. As you might expect, there is the potential for suffering and other animals inadvertently getting caught. But state wildlife officials insist the trapping program is now necessary because in North Idaho, wolves have gone wild.
Just wait.
They are starting to show up in our home videos.
Don't worry. Be right.
Killing hunting dogs and ranchers' livestock.
The first dog I found was Ruby. They didn't try to kill her by getting her by the throat, like they say that a predator does. No, they just went in and they started tearing her guts out and eating her alive.
And now wolves in North Idaho are having heart-pounding run-ins with people.
It's coming down pretty fast towards me, and it was rather nerve-wracking. I laid my bow on the ground and I thought, this thing is seriously wanting to eat me. So when it popped up over there, that was like 10 feet from where I was at, and I shot it, and it hit it in the head.
The wolf Renee Anderson shot is one of more than at least 1,000 roaming rural Idaho. Once hunted to near extinction, wolves have enjoyed years of federal protection as an endangered species, and now making a strong comeback.
Wolves are part of the landscape. I think that's a given. They're in fact what we call a keystone predator. They're necessary for ecological health of systems.
Environmentalists say a recovering wolf population is bringing back a balance between grazing game animals and their natural enemies.
Now elk numbers are coming down, and they need to come down. They need to come down quite low for long-term watershed health.
However, not many people living in towns like Pierce and Weippe, Idaho, welcome the way that wolves are affecting their everyday life.
And outside of Weippe, we have a ton of wolves. There's tracks everywhere. I now have to pack a pistol with me every time I go riding, so I can't ride in pleasure anymore, because I always have to wonder what's behind that bush, what's going to happen if a wolf jumps out at my horse.
Terry Summerfield's family got their first look at a wolf pack just 2 miles from their home.
My husband was taking out our 15-year-old son to try to get him his first elk.
Lured in by the Summerfield's cow elk calls, the wolves responded to investigate.
It wasn't just one wolf, it was a whole pack of them came in, and one started coming right towards them.
Check behind us.
When the Summerfields realized the pack was trying to flank them, they scared the wolves away, but environmentalists say the hunting party should have expected that encounter.
No, you shouldn't be surprised if you make a cow elk noise. I've had friends that have done the same thing, and rather than having a wolf show up, had a cougar show up.
However, wolves are now setting their sights on more than just hunters.
We woke up to some loud noises coming from all directions around our wall tent.
Mark Walton was camping with his family on the North Fork of the Clearwater River. When the wolves woke up his children, the pack got even more aggressive.
When they started to cry, the wolves just started howling like crazy, and they started coming in closer.
Walton says the wolf sightings are now even commonplace around rural homes where farm animals make a tempting, easy meal.
My wife can't go out in the yard without a rifle within close range. Luckily, she's a very good shot.
Got it. Meanwhile, from this office above a Moscow storefront, Friends of the Clearwater director Gary McFarland is trying to be heard over the clamor of a growing anti-wolf movement.
The danger to humans has been way overblown. The Little Red Riding Hood syndrome is alive and well, and it's a problem. Wolves really don't represent a big threat to humans.
In fact, there are no documented cases of wolf attacks on humans in the lower 48 states, but Idaho wildlife officials are certain wolves are killing big game.
There is no doubt that the majority of the mortality that's occurring on our elk, particularly our elk calves and our moose calves, is due directly to wolves.
Game trail cameras set up by the Summerfield family flesh out the statistics. These are infrared shots of a cow moose and her moose calf.
Which was so exciting to see, oh, we still have some moose, oh, we still have a calf. And then an hour later, at the exact same spot where the calf moose was, is a wolf standing, which was so disappointing because you knew that calf moose is no longer here.
And that's why when Congress took the gray wolf off the endangered species list earlier this year, Idaho legalized wolf hunting.
We need to reclaim our rural communities and our way of life. Hunting and fishing is a big industry, and wolves have impacted that big time.
Idaho Fish and Game sold more than 6,000 wolf tags, but so far hunters have only killed a little more than 100. Thick forests make it tough to spot wolves, and so now trappers will take their shot at reducing wolf numbers.
Hunters were not very successful, and so we needed to add something on top of that to try to reduce some of these wolf populations, and trapping is a viable means of trying to add to that.
Hunters who complete a fish and game class can set both leg hold traps as well as snares.
We picked up 4 wolves out of this pack so far. This is the 5th one.
But this video, taken in northern Canada where trapping is legal, shows the practice is less than humane and can cause collateral damage to other animals.
And it's sad to see, but the Idaho Fish and Game Agency is no longer a wildlife management agency, but they're game farmers. That's what they've become, especially since they want to kill so many wolves.
But people living in and around Pierce say they'll be setting their wolf traps early next week, both for the benefit of shrinking elk herds as well as their family safety.
It's not just something that somebody says to scare people. It's the truth. It's just a matter of time before someone is attacked or killed by wolves.
And so, Mike and Nadine, here is what a leg hold trap looks like. When a wolf snaps on this plate right here, it snaps shut, and then an anchor line keeps the catch in place. By the way, trappers must check their traps once at least every 72 hours. Now on Tuesday, environmentalists asked the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to find this latest delisting of the wolf illegal. The court has not yet rendered its decision, and until it does, Idaho Fish and Game officials hope that hunters and trappers can kill hundreds of wolves in the coming months. Reporting live in Spokane, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.